So today's topic, we're going to talk about significant digits, which is an important topic in chemistry, and it's one that kind of touches on like every aspect of lab protocol or apparatus. So to delve into this, what I want you guys to do is I have two balances listed, balance A over here and balance B over here. And then I want you guys to answer these two questions. The first question is which balance has more accuracy? And the second question is, which balance do you think costs more? So go and think about that, pause the video if you need to, and then you can fast forward and then start it again, and then I will talk about this on the next slide. Okay, so for both, the answer is going to be B. A only goes to the hundreds, B goes to the 10,000s, and B is much more expensive. So A costs about $250, B costs about $3,000. And all that $3,000 goes into the components that you need to have a balance that goes to that level of precision, to that 10,000ths place. So, since you're using different balances, you have to represent that there's a limit to what you can do. And so, for calculations, you want to show that B's capabilities is better than A's limitations. So, what significant digits does is it takes instrument accuracy into consideration, and every scientist, I don't care where they're at in the world, uses significant digits for everything they do. Now, if you open most textbooks, significant digits has lots of rules. Like most books list somewhere between 8 to 10, but there's a simple way to remember all of them. All you have to do is just know a map of the United States. So there's two things to focus on when it comes to the United States. One is the Pacific Ocean is to the west or to the left, and the Atlantic Ocean, when you're looking at a map with the United States pointed up north, is going to be to the east or to the right. And then the simple thing you need to do is think about that map and then answer this question. Is there a decimal point? If the decimal point's present, you start counting from non-zero numbers from the Pacific side of the number. If there's no decimal point or it's absent, you start counting from the Atlantic side of the number. So let's see this in practice. This number here, there's a decimal point that's present. So I'm going to start from the Pacific side. So the first number I'm going to count is the 3 right here. For this number, 31,400, there is no decimal point because it's not listed. I mean, I do understand that there's a decimal point here, but it has to be listed to count it as significant. Again, though there is a ones place here, there's no decimal point indicating that this thing has that level of precision, so it's absent. So therefore, we're going to count it from the Atlantic side. So the first number we're going to count is this 4 right here. So Pacific side from this side, I'm going to start here. Atlantic side is this side, so I'm going to start here. So when I do that, I'm going to start here on the first number. So it's present. So from the Pacific side, I have a decimal point here. I'm going to move over to this. So I'm going to count the 3, the 1, and the 0, 0. So there are 4 significant digits. For the Atlantic side, it's absent. So I'm going to move in this direction. So I'm going to go until I get to here. So the 4, the 1, and the 3 are all going to be significant. So therefore, I have 3 significant digits for that. So I have a little practice here. Go ahead and pause the video and try to do these 3 examples and come to whether it's we have 10.0100. When you do that, there's a decimal point, so we're going to start from the Pacific side. So I'm going to count this number all the way to the end, and that's going to give me 6. For the second item, I have 100. There's no decimal point, so I'm going to start from this side, and then I'm going to start with the first non-zero number, which is the 1, and so we just have 1. And then for this one here, there's a decimal point, so we're going to start from the first non-zero number, which is this one. It'll have this here, so we'll have 0.0010 to give us 2. So how many significant digits does this have? Here's another group or set to work on. Go ahead and pause the video and work on these 7, and then go ahead and start it, and I'll show what these are. If there's any questions, again, we're going to review significant digits together live. I'm just having you guys go through this video remote, but each of you, when we're live in class, we will definitely spend time on this topic. All right, here we go. So A should have 5, B is 2, C is 2, D is 5, E is 4, F is 3, and G has a total number of 6. Now moving on to addition, subtraction, and multiplication, division. For adding or subtracting, when you have significant digits, you need to line it up and do the least precise. So 12.5 centimeters cubed minus 0.34 centimeters gives us 12.16, which we're going to round to 12.2. Multiply and divide, we'll have 41.734 grams divided by 2.2 centimeters cubed. And again, when we round that, we're going to get a value of 19. So for adding and subtracting, you line it up. This one goes to the tenths. This one goes to the hundredths, so we're going to round it to the tenths. Multiply and divide, this is 5 significant digits. This is 2, so we're going to round it to 2, which is where we get 19. Here is 4 examples to work on. Addition, division, subtraction, multiplication. Go and pause the video, work out these 4 on your calculator, and then round it to the appropriate significant digits. And then the answers will be on the next slide. Okay, so the first one, when we add, we go to the least number of significance. So we have tenths place, hundredths place. We need to round to the tenths place. When we divide, this is 3 and this says 2, so we'll round it to 2, which is 4.7. 125 minus 2.45. We'll round it to the ones place, which is 123, and 8.1 times 1.456. We'll round it. 8.1 is 2, so you'll round it to 2, which is 12 centimeters squared, because centimeters times centimeter. So again, this is an overview, both how to determine significant digits, how to add, subtract, and multiply and divide in significant digits. I will take questions over this live, and we'll review this topic live when I see you guys. If you have any questions, you can always email me or stop by for assistance. And that's it on this topic.